on their way to a podcast. They're on their way to
Everyone's
a podcast.
on their way to a fucking podcast.
He's like, this is what I'm fucking good at. Don't you fucking take it from me. You know what I mean? And like...
You're naked.
Naked?
It's close to your skin. It's tight. It's shiny. It shows off everything.
I think that it's really, really normal for every person, especially when they're a kid, to figure out what their power is and to exert it.
That's Livia Scott. That's the voice of the lovely creator, head writer, and star of the Livia Scott Sketch Program. I was honored to talk to her. I think it was last Sunday. We walked around Prospect Park. Oh, by the way, I'm Andy. I'm also in those clips. My name's Andy Farnsworth. I'm the host. I'm the creator, head writer, and star of the What's Your Yarn Worth with Andy Farnsworth. I'm no slouch. But I am a little bit of a slouch compared to Livia. Livia has been on Law & Order. She's been on Comedy Central. She's an amazing conversationalist. I really enjoy talking to Livia. Just also because I get to talk to a lot of her characters. She kind of... I don't know if they're her characters, but she goes in and out of voices, and it always makes me laugh. What else should I tell you about this? What is the show? That's maybe you're wondering. These are mostly unedited conversations with people that I find interesting, that I think are going to be open. You know, hopefully there's some of them are funny, but I mean, a lot of it gets, frankly, a little bit intense because, really, I'm looking for people to connect with to help me sort out my problems. This has been a little bit of a dark patch in my life. Maybe that's why I'm doing this, just want to connect with people again. Stand-up's kind of not cutting it, And I just get sick of I get sick of having to be funny all the time. That's kind of you're supposed to be funny all the time in stand-up. And if you're really not on board with that, you should probably not be doing it. Because that's your job. But it'll happen again. I just hitting a slump. By the way, okay, so Livia's show, she has a show, a new one this Wednesday, November 11th at 9:30 at the UCB Chelsea. I'm going to be there. You should go and say hi if you want. You probably don't know what I look like because the picture of the show is a road. If you know anyone who makes art, I could use some art for the show because I don't know about that road. That's a picture that my dad took. They were on vacation through the windshield of their 4Runner. I'm going to say in Utah. I think that's anyway. Well, hello. Support for this show comes from nobody. Absolutely no one. But I'm down to, sell your green protein powder, your energy drink. I'll sell it. I'll give you feedback, too, on how to make it better. That's one of the services I offer, is expert advice about things which I have no expertise to give. But I'll offer it. That's the thing. I do that. How are you? I'm talking into the void, so that's why I'm trailing off. And I'm a little worried because my roommate's shooting a sketch program himself in our living room. No, he's filming a web series, which is cool. I want him to do that, but I just, I don't want people seeing me making oatmeal in the morning. I don't want them seeing me grouchy, because I'm not friendly in the morning. Are you like that? It's not that I'm not. I just need to be kind of, let me be. I don't want to have to say much. Well, here you go. This is my conversation with Livia. I hope you enjoy it.
Good to see you.
Me too.
I'm glad we're hanging out.
Yeah.
So you think you're done with comedy?
I don't think so. I'm just in a new phase, I think. I'm not shouting at the audience about being molested as a kid anymore. It's not working. And
well, hey, you know, that's the point of
you gotta grow
of catharsis,
right?
To do that so that you don't have to do it anymore.
Do you know that, like, the literal, this is mansplaining, but, like, isn't it the literal meaning is to, like, shit? It's like catharsis. It's like it was like an animal term.
Oh, really?
Like it to pass through.
Possibly, yeah. How is that mansplaining?
I don't know, because I'm a man and I'm explaining. Isn't that it?
No, mansplaining.
Yeah, what is it?
I would say that from my experience and also from what I've observed, it's like it's when a man tries to correct you about your own experience. So for a man to correct a woman, or not to correct, you weren't correcting, you were, that's
what it is? I didn't know that.
That's my understanding of yes.
I thought it was any time you, like, try to kick knowledge on a woman.
No.
Oh.
No, I think that's getting into the territory of being overly sensitive for no reason. You know, I mean, like, it's okay for people to be like, hey, did you know? And I mean, you weren't even correcting me. You weren't like going actually. You were saying, oh, did you know this fact? I mean, I would fucking hate it if we started to live in a world where men felt like they couldn't impart any knowledge to a woman at all.
Yeah.
That's just too much. That is just too much now. Oh, wow, this coffee's fucking good.
Is it?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I was at a Halloween party till pretty late. I didn't need my caffeine today.
What were you?
My boyfriend and I were just like a sleazy couple. We just wanted to keep it real easy. You know, he had a Hawaiian shirt, you know, and a pencil thin mustache, and I gave him a pair of sunglasses that I use as a prop for a particular character that I do sometimes that has the sunglasses that, like, with the flip up frames.
Yeah.
You know? So he was going, yeah, the essence of class is economy. Look, daytime, nighttime, daytime, nighttime. It was stupid. And then I wore, like, a leopard print dress, and you could see my bra straps. You know, it's just dumb.
Okay, so let's walk into the park a little bit.
Okay.
So it's quiet.
Yeah. Let me,
There's people playing cricket. There's a royal flush. Those things always have, like, you know, silly names. Outhouses.
What things have silly names?
Outhouses.
Oh, yeah?
They're always like Honey Bucket. Porta Potty is the original name.
Uh-huh.
They should have very serious names. That's a very serious place. Like, it's a place of darkness and iniquity. It's not. it's not a place of life and fun. There's benches.
It should be called the information dump.
Oh, it's like Wi-Fi access. You could have. We just came up with $1 million idea. Porta potties with Wi-Fi as access points. The information dump. What do you think?
You nailed it.
You did. I think we were a team.
That was a team effort.
It was a team. Okay.
God, this is so pretty.
I know. I shouldn't, like,
Yay. Wow. Nice.
Do you like to just sit on the grass or bench? Are you a bench person?
Either, really. Grass is fun as long as it's not damp.
See, what I just did, what I asked you, like, are you a grass person or a bench person, is the reason it's hard for me to make decisions or answer questions, because everything is like, you're this kind of person for the rest of your life. Like, if I'm gonna buy bread, I'm the guy that buys this kind of bread for the rest of my life. So it's very crippling to make these decisions. I can't just be like, well, today I'm buying this today. I'm buying Ezekiel bread today. It doesn't mean that's who I am 20 years from now, but today, that's what I'm going with. It's hard for me to just have that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I think that's the situation for a lot of people. I think that's anxiety.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You know,
that's
and
the
a lot
ruling.
of people have anxiety. I have it. I'm like, I realized, would you hold that for me, please? Thank you. I realized, and I think I talked with you about this before. Yeah, I realized that I had anxiety. Like I kind of got diagnosed or whatever, and it was like such a relief. Of like, oh fuck, yeah, that's why I've been like, you know, it's like a bee that's been buzzing around inside my body my whole life. Yeah, it's not because something's wrong. It's because, you know. And as soon as I realized, I was like, and it like flew out of my mouth, and then I was like, oh, okay. And now I can kind of like negotiate with it as opposed to it being, you know.
I like that. That's a good way of it's a bee that's been buzzing around in your body.
Yeah, and then like they were like,
where's
you know,
honey,
you have
though?
anxiety, and I was like, oh, hey, all right. That's just, I have something that a lot of people have. But anyway, back to you. I mean, were you using that as an example, or do you actually feel that way about like when you buy bread?
No, it's both. That's an easy access point into the Farnsworth decision-making process. So I'll start with bread as an entry level.
So let me ask you this.
Decisions are very draining.
Yeah.
Decision making, like buying an airplane ticket, I have to take a nap.
Yeah, I understand.
I know everybody doesn't like doing these things, but like there
are some people who really love it.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. There's some people that are like they like all the options, they like shopping, they like weighing, you know, pros and cons. That they get off on that.
Yeah, and it's very heavy, right?
It's really heavy. It's way too heavy for what it is. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. So when...
I like making decisions under pressure, and that's why I like comedy, probably. Because I have to make them now in the moment, and then I'm...
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of a punishment-reward system that's happening in real time, and that makes sense to me. If someone were behind me when I'm buying bread, like spanking me the whole time... that would be so much quicker.
Or like yelling at you or something.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this question. You said that if you buy this kind of bread, then that means that that's the kind of bread that you have for the rest of your life. Why is it for the rest of your life?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's like they're defining decision. Each decision is defining for some reason. Yeah, why is that?
Is it that it feels that way?
Yeah.
Or is it that it actually becomes that? Like that is the bread that you have for the rest of your life?
No, it doesn't become that. I'm not totally autistic, but I mean like
Or OCD.
OCD, sorry, I shouldn't say. Is that...
Well, I don't know. I think we're exploring it together. I think neither of us know, and it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't... Yeah, I'll definitely diverge from it. It's not that I stick to it.
Mm-hmm. But that's what it feels like. It's like, if I make this decision, it's forever. That's how it feels.
It
and that's
feels
the
that way.
anxiety part. It goes into this irrational place.
Yeah.
Right?
And of course, right now, I don't even know that's what I'm doing when I'm doing it. Of course, I don't know that's what I'm doing, but that's why it feels so anxiety-producing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why is it? Why is it that each decision is defining? Probably because I have no idea who I am. I'm a cloud of... You know, I don't know if you're a people pleaser or someone who likes to... is that the right word? People pleasing. Performance is not maybe people pleasing, but you really rely on feedback from people to some extent, you know. But it also means like I don't know who I am a lot of times without people. Like I like talking to people because it helps me know who I am.
Yeah.
I you know, if that makes sense. But the downside to that is if someone has a negative reaction to me, then it doesn't roll off me. It's super easy. I'll go home and lay in bed and think about it for a week. Yeah.
I think that's very, very human.
Yeah.
You know, to have that investment. I mean, especially if it's a person who you like and you respect.
Yeah.
If they give you feedback, it's like, I think you suck. Of course that hurts.
It's never that explicit, though.
Right.
It's always a small dig.
And it might even just be in your head and not actually
Totally.
they're giving you. And that's obviously an anxiety thing, too, about, like,
Yeah.
it's sort of, I mean, it's part of feelings rooted in fear.
Yeah. Fear.
And, like, getting to a place of relaxation and letting go and not being fearful and stuff like that. It's amazing how hard that is for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And at times for myself, for you, for...
Can I say, though, you seem
Yeah.
good. Like, not that you were bad last time, but, like, you seem calm and, like, good.
I am.
And happy.
I've realized a lot of things about myself that have been really painful.
Yeah.
And really, like, God, I really don't like that about myself. Oh, fucking gross. It's like discovering that you have, like, rotten meat in your refrigerator that you didn't know was there.
Yeah.
I've been through a bunch of that recently. And so I was telling my boyfriend before I came to meet up with you, I was like, God, I really hope when I listen to this podcast, I'm not just cringing with embarrassment about what an asshole I sound like.
Yeah.
So I feel like, with one exception, I have sounded like the most ridiculous asshole every single podcast I've ever been on, because I was a ridiculous asshole.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to be a better person and somebody that I enjoy my own
company. Yeah.
Enjoy my own company. Yeah.
Right. Why?
And I'm finally kind of like getting there, but you have to be confronted with your own shittiness
Your
to
own
get
meat.
there, unfortunately.
Your own. See, I feel like my meat.
Your own BS.
Yeah. My analogy is my meat is rotten and in the freezer, and then I don't know. The power goes out. I don't know what the analogy is, but there's a thawing. There's a lot of thawing that has to happen for me to, like, find this stuff that's upsetting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. Recently. So, do you think that, like, do you know why it's maybe happening now for you? Like, that you're going? Is it relationship because you're in this relationship, or is it because age, or?
It's because it's been an unfolding. Like, ever since I realized that I had anxiety, everything started to change for me.
When was this?
2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And then, like, I mean, it really was like, it just really opened up a lot of things for me.
Yeah.
And I started to, because once I realized what was going on with I've been self-conscious my whole life.
Yeah.
And it can lead to a certain kind of narcissism and codependency stuff with people. And as a performer, and, it's just like, again, this feeling of like, I'm not comfortable in my own skin and I don't know why, and it sucks, and not even knowing that that's what's going on with you, but feeling it, And once I realized that I had anxiety, then I started to understand where some of it was coming from, and then I started to, over time, feel more comfortable in my own skin. And then as I felt comfortable in my own skin, I began to see other things about myself.
Yeah.
That when you're not, when you're like going like this all the time, and you're not knowing that you're going like this, it's impossible to get to that other place.
Yeah.
Because you're like having a seizure inside yourself all the time. If you like calm the fuck down and breathe, then you're able to see the other things.
Yeah.
And I saw that I had certain coping mechanisms and stuff for the anxiety that I no longer needed anymore, because it's just like a lot of stuff kind of just...
That's a real uncomfortable place, maybe.
Yeah. And I was like,
when you're
God,
you're talking about like...
fuck, ugh. And then, and then you're like, well, I don't want to be like that, so I got to work on it.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like what's been happening gradually, I would say, over the past 2 or 3 years. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I relate. So it's like, you're talking about like chronic, sounds like you're talking about like really chronic anxiety, like it, not just, right?
I think it's like a low level of chronic, you know, like that would like peak out. Like I didn't have like anxiety attacks on the regular or anything like that.
Well, no, I don't think that.
But just like this constant
isn't
feeling of like
that what they say
discomfort
is?
with
Yeah,
yourself.
that's what they call is chronic, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
It's hard because if you live with it, you don't understand how much suffering it is. Like, I need to look at this real quick, but I've always
what do you
known
think
that.
about all this?
No, I mean I relate a ton because I realize a lot of my shit's been like manic, like reactions to anxiety, but I think even like PTSD stuff from when I was a kid, some pretty intense shit.
Yeah.
But I know I get sick. Like you feel like you might sound like an asshole or something, but what I get sick of is hearing me psychoanalyze myself and talk about the same shit sometimes. But
Are you in therapy?
Yeah, and I mean,
are you happy with your therapist?
I think so, but I mean, it's also like I feel like this guy's like making me quit comedy in a way. Not he's not like he's saying that or anything, but I was talking to him about like kind of where it comes from.
Where the comedy comes from?
Why I do it maybe. And well, that's not even what we were talking about. But I realized it was this reaction to some like I started kind of acting out. I hate to call it that, but like being funny really early, like second grade, and that was a reaction, like suicidally, like verbally, like what's the right word? Like definitely like the center of diverting the class, like in a major way, get laughs and stuff. But it was a result of maybe not maybe being heard at home. It's so uncomfortable to talk about this because it's not like it's like the epicenter of why I maybe do it. And now I don't feel like I want to do it anymore. Like I don't want to do stand-up anymore because it's. Let me ask you this. So, I want to make sure I'm on the same page with your perspective. Is this an accurate assessment of what you just said? Because of things that were going on, you felt the need to kind of express your point of view, your opinions, and also your power. Yeah. Power.
Of like, you know, and then once you get the affirmation, then you understand like, oh, I have this power.
That's interesting. I've never heard people put it that. I never heard power. That's true. It is claiming power again.
Yeah,
because you feel really powerless. I felt like I had an older brother. One of the reasons I hate talking about this is because I do love my family, and I don't want them to hear that. They won't listen anyway. But but I love my mom insanely. She came from a really hard situation. But my brother and stuff, like he's dead now, so it feels weird to speak. But he was violent. He was pretty violent for a while, and yeah, and they weren't really paying attention. Whatever. Yeah, but that's so about power. I never put it that way. I never thought of it that way, or put that together. That like getting laughs is a way of reclaiming that or something.
And
does that sound like clinical though? Doesn't that make you like want to take a bath to talk about that?
Well, I mean, like, I'm not going to tell you this is how you should feel about it or whatever. I'm just going to tell you how I feel about it. I think that it's really, really normal for every person, especially when they're a kid, to figure out what their power is and to exert it.
That's so,
I mean, that's your fucking life force. Like, I can do this.
That's what you're figuring
Oh,
out.
wow, this is this thing that I have. This is this special thing that I have that belongs to me.
Yeah.
And, that's where, it can get into sort of tricky territory in terms of like needing the affirmation from other people. But if you can, it's normal to need that affirmation. That's part of like kind of where the power comes from. But if you eventually get to this point where there's this balance of I enjoy this feeling regardless of the reaction. This is something that feels good to me. Then you get into an even more powerful place. But yeah, I was thinking about that when I was watching Breaking Bad. I was like, oh, the reason why he so desperately needs to continue on this track is because he's discovered his power. He's like, this is what I'm fucking good at. Don't you fucking take it from me. You know what I mean? And like, I think that's like the essence of great drama, and the essence of great tragedy is the essence of all tragedy is your ego fucking your shit up, like being destroyed by your own ego. I feel it's like kind of the essence of all tragedy. But if you can get to that place of like, oh, this is my shit, and treat it and take care of it and make it something that makes you happy and something that, is in the world in a positive way or whatever you want it to be, like that's like, I feel like maybe that's like the biggest gift in life, really, because, if you fall in love with someone and they fall in love with you, that's great, but, even if you're together for the rest of your lives, at the end of the day, you are with you.
Yeah.
They're gonna die. You're gonna die. Your primary relationship is with, yourself.
Yeah.
And so if you're like, and I think it's sad so many people aren't connected to that. They think that what they should do is find that special person and get married and have kids, and they never find that special power, like this is my gift.
Yeah.
Obviously comedians and artists and various different musicians and people can find that, but I think it's something special that belongs to everybody, and we're not encouraged in school to find it or anything. It's like, learn your shit.
Find your power.
Go get
That's
a job.
what school should be, yeah.
Go get a job. Go consume and put money into the economy and then die. That's school.
Did you figure out this stuff? Do you feel like because this is new territory for me. Like, it's always just been this manic thing, maybe why I did comedy. Do you feel like you had this moment where you're like, why do I do this? Like a real, like, where does it come from moment, and then like negotiate with that and then decided to keep doing it?
Yeah, I think...
Like, what makes you happiest, though? Like, what's the feedback? Is it laughs? Is it the connection? Like...
it's a very confusing thing for me. Like, I'm still kind of like sorting these things out. It's hard for me to say.
Yeah.
But, like, when I think that it's about...
Like, when you're done with the performance, let me ask you this. Like, for me, like, if I bomb... It's not so much always about bombing versus killing. It's often... I'm gauging, like, whether or not I collapsed a little bit.
Whether you collapsed a little bit?
Personally. Like, as a performer. Like, did I... Like, there's times where... So there's just not always on board. It just happens sometimes. But my reaction to that is what pisses me off. If I get hostile too quickly or something like that, then I get mad. If
the audience isn't giving you the response that you're hoping for, you can sort of collapse.
It doesn't even have to do. It's my perception of what they're giving me often. Like, it's sometimes really irrational.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's maybe getting better, but
So what happens, like, when you talk about the collapse?
I get mad
like,
too quick, or I decide they don't like me before I even get up there, or make all these decisions that aren't, they're delusion, they're not real.
Again, fear-based.
It's always fear. That's what I don't like, is I succumb to the fear or not. That's probably the easiest way of putting it.
Yeah.
So for you, you feel good after you're done, like, because of, like, what's the difference between a bad performance and a good one?
I mean, for me, it's again, it's like really hard for me to answer this, and that's part of my problem. But I think it's like, is it good or not? Like, does it suck?
Yeah.
Like, is this good quality shit, or does it suck? And
what does that mean, though, to suck? Like, what's the metric for gauging that?
Sorry.
Like, did it make people feel something?
It's really less about the audience reaction than just my own assessment of it. You know, that's the editor in me that's like, this isn't good enough, or like, oh, they liked it but it sucked. And like, there's not, you know, people are stupid, they like it because they're dumb, you know. Or like, you know,
all right,
like, I don't mean to be, you know,
yeah.
And I don't mean to, and people are like, oh, it's just because you're so hard on yourself, you're a perfectionist. And like, you know what, that's really not what's going on. And when people say things like that, I think they're not real, it's just a thing people say, and they're not really thinking.
Yeah.
It's just, sometimes it's just not good enough. And like, so I have a song that it's called All I Want to Know Is How Big Is Your Dick.
That song is my worst fear. You wrote that into song form.
Yeah.
Thank you. How's it go? You don't have to sing it.
And then like, this is it's like, here's my inner monologue when I'm on a date with someone from, you know, for the first time on, you know, OkCupid or Tinder or whatever. And the lyrics are, so you grew up in New Jersey, that's nice. No, I don't know where Morristown is. You say they have a good DJ here on Friday nights. All I want to know is how big is your dick. Oh, you're a journalist. I guess that's cool. And in your spare time, you work with kids, and you just got a condo, and it has a pool. Blah blah blah. How big is your dick? You know, and it's like, it's just a very frank, you know, and it's just like, and the ladies really love the song because it's something that is, I'm tapping into something that, you know, they feel, and it's kind of corny or whatever, but I do the song with, I have recorded it and done it at my show at UCB with Cornmo, and it has this, you know, he plays the piano, and we did a duet, and like, and he's singing at one point, like, I'm like doing this one particular part, and he just all of a sudden chimes in, all she wants to know is how big is my dick, you know, like, and then it like goes into this thing, and then we like do this beautiful like harmony, and I'm like, that's fucking great. That's great. And that the audience likes it, that's a bonus.
Yeah.
But if I have faith in something that I have worked on, and again, like feeling my power of like, in my eyes, it's good enough, then I'm like, fuck yes, check off that box and move on to the next one and make that excellent so that I have this repertoire of stuff I'm really proud of. Yeah. That's what it's about for me. And you know, I'll do another song that's like, it just fucking sucks, and the audience is into it or whatever. I'm like, yeah, but that song's stupid. It's like,
what about how curved is your, like, what about how nuanced is this song? How bent? How wide is your dick? Come on, there's a lot more to this song. Like,
but that's part of big. It's the song. Big? The song isn't how long is your dick. It's how big is it. Right. So that's width is part of bigness.
Big is, it's how dynamic is your dick is really, I think. That's the song I'm hoping for. That's the song I'm hoping that it's being written.
Well, there is a part of the song where it says, where is it? Can we just be honest? Size does matter, but if you're good at cunnilingus, we can make it not matter. But in the meantime, all I want to know is how big,
Yeah.
And it's just about that thing of like, of sort of the inequity of when you're in a situation like this, you know what I'm working with, but we don't know what you're working with.
Yeah, but we don't know how wide is your vagina. We don't know that. That's the great mystery. And they're not all the same.
No, they're not.
We're all different. We all don't fit together.
It's true. Ultimately, it's not really what matters. What matters is,
It is and it isn't. It is what matters. It's the song. You've captured something.
Yeah,
because it isn't.
Because I think what made it excellent to me was that it wasn't the audience's reaction. It was my assessment of it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is good.
You felt good about it, yeah.
Yeah, and I think I felt good about it because the melody is good, and what Cornmo did with it was really good.
I don't know Cornmo.
He's a musician. He's totally great. He's really amazing and wonderful to work with, and such a sweet person. And
Yeah.
We've collaborated on a couple of songs now. How many? I don't know. I'm losing my train of thought with it, but we did another one that I really like, but the audience reaction wasn't that great, so I'm trying to figure out what I need to do to make it as excellent to the audience as it is in my head.
Yeah.
But it's called Fail to the Top, and it's the lyrics for that are, and it's like this kind of Meatloaf thing, and it's like really epic and everything, and the lyrics for that are there's a little preamble as an intro, but it goes, tonight we're going to fail our way to the top. Tonight we're going to bomb all the way to the moon. We're going to suck all the way to the Hollywood sign. We've got no game, no shame, and we have no pride. We'll lay it on the line with all that we've got and get embarrassed all the way to the right hand of God. We're going to fail. We're going to fail our way to the top. And I love that song. I love what it's about. But the audience is like, and I saw the video and I was like, this isn't as good as it could be. This isn't as good as I envision it being. Like, it just doesn't, and Cornmo's like ripping up on the piano and I'm singing, and it still feels really flat to me, and I'm not quite sure what the problem is.
Do you think it's because they're like, but what does that have to do with your dick? That's the bottom line. They just want to hear you talk about your genitals.
I don't know.
That's when it gets frustrating sometimes, is you're like, that was stand-up. Like, the bandwidth is pretty limited. Like, with sketch, you can do, like, maybe a little dramatic. Like, you probably have to live with this, like, you have, like, a month to process something afterwards to kick yourself if you didn't feel like it went well, or do you beat yourself up pretty bad for a long time, or do you redo?
I did. I mean, I usually bomb when I do stand-up. I really suck. I'm not good stand-up. I keep trying, and I just keep sucking. It's just really bad. But I bombed. The last time I did stand-up, I bombed, and it was just a horribly embarrassing, awful, crushing experience. And I, was upset about it for about an hour after. About a full hour of just feeling like, and again, it's not about the audience. It's like, what I brought to the table was, it's like when you see one of those like cooking shows and somebody is just like, I'm embarrassed by what I made. It's just like, and they
wouldn't that be the best cooking shows if they're like, I am not. Let's be honest. This is subpar.
the world's worst chefs.
The world's like really self-conscious like chef. Not the worst. Just like, I don't know about this. Really, it's a little salty.
They're just like constantly just nitpicking.
It's never good enough.
Their own food. Yeah, that would be the name of it. It's never good enough.
It's never good enough.
Yeah, and it's just a really, really boring show. Like, no, it's just like, I mean, how boring would that be? Just listening to people talk about how they're like, it's just not good enough.
That's true. It's not exciting. That's my problem. Is I'm only just now discovering that it's not that fun to listen to you rag on yourself. It's not fun.
It's not. You gotta move on from that shit.
Yeah. While we were talking about cooking shows, I saw this one time. I've never seen it since. It was a public television cooking show, and it was like Morocco. They were like on site in Morocco making couscous in the tagine is what it's called.
Tagine, yeah.
So there's this really wealthy white woman and like this Moroccan woman, but the wealthy like white woman had like a shawl, all the trappings of cliche for a wealthy white woman. Mm-hmm. But she's saying like, so first I chop the onion, and then her assistant lady or this other Moroccan woman is like chopping it, but she's saying it in the first person, and the other person, like the surrogate, is doing it. It seemed it was upsetting.
That's horrible.
Like it was very it
That's
just seemed
so
like
strange.
It should be like Cheryl cuts the onion. First, you'll see Cheryl's cutting the onion. It shouldn't be I cut the onion, right?
Right, because she's not.
I'm not cutting the onion. This person,
my
it was
slave is cutting the onion.
My slave is. You'll notice my slave is cutting the onion.
Now, my slave needs to chop it up really fine, because if my slave doesn't do it correctly, then the garlic will burn, or really whatever the fuck. That's so strange. What show was this?
It was one of those PBS travel. It wasn't like the Barefoot Contessa. It was one of those. I don't remember the name of the show, but it was
so weird.
It was like the Create channel. They don't have that here. It was in Illinois. I had a period when I was binging, and I would watch public television. That was kind of my go-to. Is I'd get hammered and watch public television for like 2 weeks at a time. And
that would be such a funny ad for PBS. Like, get hammered and watch do or like whatever the fuck their music is. Be more 13. Remember those days? Like, be more hammered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like gonna get a case of Schlitz and watch the Barefoot Contest. Fucking hammered.
I felt like I was part of something. I was getting stuff done. Like they were building on this old house, like they're renovating. So you feel like you're part of a project.
You're part of
You're maybe the supervisor a little bit. Like you're watching and you're learning stuff. Mm-hmm. But I would eat junk food and watch the cooking shows. That's always... If they showed what people are really eating when they're watching, like, Chopped, it's like a bag of Cheetos and, like, a reheated hamburger or something. Yeah. I'm not there anymore, but I still binge watch. I just went through Breaking Bad again. A second time. What the fuck? This looks weird to people. They're walking by. Here's this guy yelling at this woman, and he's wearing headphones. Why is this guy?
No, they're like, they're probably doing a podcast. I wonder if it's higher up on the iTunes chart than my podcast.
Right. They're like, we're doing one too.
We're doing one right now.
Yeah.
They're on their way to a podcast.
Everyone's on their way to a fucking podcast. It's the new radio. That's how I...
Yeah. But, I mean, there's nothing wrong with going through Breaking Bad twice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
This was immediately after the shrink thing.
But, I mean, maybe you're avoiding something.
No, I was. It was immediately after this conversation with my shrink. I basically was, like, in bed for a week.
And is the conversation with your shrink that makes you think that you shouldn't do comedy anymore?
Well, it was naming something I was feeling, probably. It wasn't like... I don't think it's like he's a bad shrink. Although I do feel like I kind of want some help walking through this. I'll see him again.
Well,
he's talked me out of like 2 careers now. Like he told me I was doing voiceover for a while when I first got there, and he's like, I got 7 other people doing voiceover. It was really like
why
defeating.
does that mean that you shouldn't do voiceover?
It just seemed like I'm another one of these sheep.
That was your interpretation.
Yeah, it was maybe not what he meant, but
it better not be what he meant.
I don't think that's what he
meant.
meant.
A jerk.
Yeah.
Do you think your therapist's a jerk? Or I
wonder.
Maybe coming from fear-based
place. He's good. I think he's good at like
negative.
He's good at helping me find stuff. He's not like you're gonna be great. He's not one of those guys.
Right. He's not a fucking faggot.
Have you seen those? Did you watch the baseball game? Not that I'm really into it, but have you seen these commercials? There's like for Tom Brady where he makes the wrong decision and gets cable, and he's basically a fag. Like that's basically the implication is that he's a silly hippie faggot for getting cable and not the dish. That's really. Oh
God, it's the
have
dish.
You seen it?
The
it's
Dish,
Dish
I
Network.
think, is a conservative
the Dish people?
company. Yeah.
Really?
So it's not surprising.
They're bringing
that
all this filth into people's homes.
It's
debauchery.
Disgusting. I mean, I think that is. I mean, it doesn't surprise me that their advertising campaign promotes fag shaming.
So what do you do now? What's your like way to unwind, relax, chill out? Because you do seem good, if you don't mind me. Maybe I seem better or something too. Maybe I'm projecting, but we had fish sandwiches. We had a really good conversation.
Good.
We had a super intense conversation about like my brother being dead and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm tired of going into this shit with people. I mean,
well, that's what I was going to say. Actually, we got back to the shrink thing and what he had said to you about and how you're feeling about comedy.
We're talking about your loss too, though, not just mine.
Mm-hmm, yeah, my stepdad.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that, you may be experiencing, like, feeling like you don't need to do this anymore because you are growing, emotionally, healthily. Yeah. So if you are going to be doing comedy and you continue with it, it's going to be for the right reasons and not because you need a place to experience something that maybe you no longer need.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like kind of a shift in your head about what it is that you need from yourself and the audience, and maybe understanding your sense of power in a different way as a result of like us talking today about
this power
that stuff.
I'm a big fan of it because I don't think about that enough. Mm-hmm. It is about that, like finding your wheelhouse, finding your joy, finding your power. I think those are all ways of maybe saying the same thing. You're right, but it's also like maybe it's like a relationship. It's I seek out like abusive relationships. Same with comedy. Like it's been an abusive relationship, and maybe now I'm moving to a more supportive place. I don't know. Yeah, it does feel. Yeah.
I mean, I really enjoy talking to you because you're very...
Thank you.
You're very honest, and you don't seem to be a person who's, like, really run by his ego. Uh-huh. I think that, there are definitely tons of aspects of your personality that I haven't witnessed.
Yeah.
But...
yelling. You haven't witnessed it. But that's once every 4 years. And then I have a complete meltdown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you got it like on a timer? Is it like on your
calendar?
You're on a calendar, have a meltdown. It's countdown to the meltdown.
I don't know if I would have.
We're coming up on November 12th.
The last one I had was in a pretty serious relationship, and it was in Salt Lake City, and I was only a year sober. My brother, I was still grieving that a lot. And this girl who I was dating, we'd been friends for a year. And then I kind of, she came over drunk one night, and... Should I keep going?
If you want.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like an interesting story. It's up to you.
It is, actually, probably. Okay, so we weren't dating. We were doing this thing where we were, starting to sleep together, but we didn't really define it, which was a mistake.
You were kind of hooking up.
But we had been friends for a year and a half before this. Mm-hmm. And this, I believe, was a mistake in retrospect. Because, one night, I was coming home from doing laundry, and her car was parked in front of her ex-boyfriend's house. And I swear I'm not a stalker. I was just going by this way. And I called her. I did that thing where I called her. Mm-hmm. I'm like, so, how you doing? What are you up to? Mm-hmm. And she wasn't, saying where she was, Mm-hmm. And I was like, all right. In my head, I just let it go. And then I go home, and it's like 1 a.m. I get back in my car, and I go back over, and I drive by. Like, this is embarrassing to admit this. And I put a piece of her mail under the windshield. Because for some reason, she had left it at my house or something. So it was like this message. Then anyway, I should have just said, "You're hurt. What's happening? You hurt my feelings."
Wait, is this what the note said or what it should have said?
It should have said.
What
the
did
note
it say?
should have. It was just a piece of mail that she had left at my apartment that she would have known.
I thought you left her a note. Sorry.
No.
Okay.
That there should have been a note. I should have just been open, and not weird about it.
Okay, so this is sort of a passive-aggressive thing. By putting the mail on her windshield, you were letting her know that you knew,
I knew she was
there.
lying.
Yes.
She was lying.
I was just trying to sift
I think it
through
was
the pieces of
aggressive. I don't
information.
believe in passive. I believe there's just aggression and covert aggression. There's stealth. It was I should have just called her out and it was also my fear. I should have just been like, let's try a relationship or something from the beginning. I should have said that. Or
Well, so anyway, what happened?
okay, so after that, yeah, she came over. It was like a day later, and she was a little bit buzzed. And I hate this, what I'm saying, but she offered. She tried to start giving me a blowjob, which I should have been okay with, but I was upset because it was she was trying to.
I'm just trying to move this down here so I can.
Yeah. She was trying to pay me off with blowjob and make me forget about it. It made me so mad, and I just freaked out and yelled at her and told her.
And
to
again,
get out.
that's a fear-based assessment.
It was,
as opposed to maybe she she really cares about me and she's showing me that she cares about me.
Yeah, but she was just at her ex-boyfriend's.
That doesn't mean she didn't care about you too.
No, I know. There was a lot of things that went wrong. But my point is, that was the meltdown. That was the last one. And it was it was a vortex of fear about a lot of things. Not being heard by women, that's a big one for me.
Not being heard.
I'm just now figuring that one out.
Oh, that's good.
Really not being heard by a woman that I'm really close to, relationship-wise, that sends me to the fucking moon. Yeah.
So good to know that,
You're
right?
It is. It's a trigger. It's a big one.
Is it not being heard or is it not being understood?
Well, both, probably, yeah. Don't those go together? What flips you out? That story makes me feel pretty. Because it's anger. Maybe that's a little.
When people are being shitty to other people who are not capable of defending themselves.
Wielding a power?
Abusing people.
Power.
That abusing power. When people abuse their power against other people, it really makes me insane. It makes me insanely angry.
Huh.
I think that bothers me more than someone doing something to me because I feel pretty capable of defending myself and I feel okay. But when I see somebody doing that to someone who I feel like they can't defend themselves, then I get really angry.
Huh.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I was 6. I was at a new school. Maybe my first couple days at a new school. And there was this girl playing hopscotch. And I think her name was Joy. And she opened up her legs and pee went down her legs. She peed herself. And all these kids laughed at her. And she was so humiliated and tears streaming down her face. And she was being fucking attacked and traumatized by these kids on top of already being embarrassed for something that's totally natural.
Yeah.
And I just fucking lost it. I mean, I think that was the first time that I yelled at anybody that wasn't like my parents. I was like, having some sort of tantrum. That was the first time that I ever really yelled at anybody. And I just screamed at those kids. And I was like, I really felt like out of control. I felt like absolutely enraged. And I just screamed at them, and I was like, all of you have peed yourselves. All of you have peed yourselves. Don't you yell at her. Like, I just flipped out. And then, there have been incidents where...
What happened after that? Were you guys friends? Did she see you as a...
I wasn't friends with that loser. She peed herself. This is about me enjoying my power. Fuck that bitch. I think, I don't remember what happened with her. She might have gone to another school or something like that. Like, I don't remember her really being in the picture that much. Or maybe she wasn't in my class.
Yeah.
Like, we were all in the playground together. I knew her, but I don't really know what happened from that. But, yeah, I mean, I was a horribly unpopular kid and stuff.
You were?
Oh, yeah. Like, I had such a hard time making friends and just
all the way through? You feel like you did you find your people?
I didn't really find my friends until maybe junior year of high school. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that had a lot to do with like theater stuff, because I was doing that and I was friends with other people that were theater kids, and so I sort of found my people a little bit around then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just like, an awkward kid and really self-conscious, and up until 2 or 3 years ago, just like been horribly self-conscious my whole life. That makes it hard.
Yeah. Not being
because
cool.
If you're not relaxed around people, they're not relaxed around you.
Yeah.
So
they're
like, you're like, hey, do you want to hang out? And they're like, get away from me. But yeah, and in college I had friends and stuff like that, because then you're really around like your people. But
yeah.
What about yourself?
I was like a little bit of a pollinator. I would go to different groups and kind of drift a little bit. But the drug people, I found drugs in high school. Not heavy stuff, just pot at first, and then acid, and then mushrooms. But then the Smashing Pumpkins, I found them. Uh-huh. I wore this Smashing Pumpkins shirt every day that said, it was black, it had a red star, and it said, just say maybe on the back. That defines...
That's great.
Just say maybe.
Just say maybe.
That really was a defining shirt for me, though. I wore it in my senior pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have senior pictures?
Yeah.
Did you wear that bodysuit?
Oh, you know what? I just came up... I've been trying to talk about why I wear the bodysuit on stage.
Yeah.
And like, just like all like the
And you
jokes.
wear it the whole time.
Yeah. And like the why I do it and everything, and like I've never been able to come up with a good joke for it, and I finally just came up with one last night. And this is what we're talking about when it comes to acceptance, and then like being able to get over your own bullshit. I think it's hurt my comedy, like not being able to really see yourself. You know what I mean?
Totally.
But yeah, I finally came up with this joke that I think is a pretty good one. I wear spandex bodysuits on stage because I'm incapable of playing it cool, and I'm trying to own it. I mean, it's not all that funny, but it's very true. I am incapable of playing it cool. Here we go.
For some reason, I'm picturing you saying that in an interview in the bodysuit, and I think that would be...
I'm wearing the bodysuit to an interview because I'm incapable of playing it cool. Yeah, I'm like the least cool person in the world.
Like, do you feel sexy, like powerful in it?
Yeah.
It's your cape.
Yeah, I mean, I really like it because...
You're naked.
Naked?
It's close to your skin, it's tight, it's shiny, it shows off everything.
Well, I like it because because I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like it's fun to just to have fun. You know, like here's this thing that people are not expecting to see anybody wearing, and it's spectacle, and it's kind of like fuck you, and also let's have fun, and it's also like isn't it stupid? You know, it's just it's all these things that I like.
Yeah,
you
that
know?
makes sense.
And
how many do you have? Because I've seen different colors, right? You've got a few of them.
I have red, blue, silver, and I think.
What's your favorite one? It depends.
If I was in better shape, I would say the silver one. Yeah.
They're all skin tight. Oh, but the silver's really like, here I am. More?
No. I really like, I just really like the silver one. I think it's really pretty. I think that it's really, I think it's really pretty. And I think it's like, I think there's something kind of garish about the red and the blue one. But there's this kind of nice contrast with the silver that's like,
I think I like the silver too.
Here's this, wearing a spandex bodysuit is garish, but like this silver kind of like gives it this kind of touch of class. Actually,
it's a little bit.
So
it does. You're from another planet too. You're from the future, maybe.
Right. It's like it gives it like a little contrast. It's like it's like chocolate with some salt on it.
Yeah.
So that would be my favorite to wear if I. Yeah, I've packed on a few pounds, and it's okay. I'm not beating myself up about it, but I wouldn't want to wear it right now.
At the park in Prospect Park in the fall, the silver more calling
I wouldn't want to wear it here. I wouldn't want to
wear it there.
Where did you find it? I would not want to wear it anywhere.
Where did you find it?
At a dance store. Those,
And you were like,
I was like, that's it. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like that. And so I got it. I would really like a green one, like a really cool.
But then you look like the green screen.
No, I don't.
Guys.
I wouldn't be like that kind of green.
Okay.
Like more like a blue green or like a silver green or like a sea, like a dark sea green. Something cool like that. I think they're fun.
Were you with somebody or are you by yourself?
I was by myself. Yeah.
Huh. And it was like a costume store?
It was a dance store.
A dance store?
Yeah. Where they have all these leotards and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't call it a costume for dance. You call it...
Well, they're not costumes. They're leotards.
Okay.
So it's like, it's dance.
It's not the right word.
Dance apparel store. Yeah.
I love that moment. I'm really curious about that moment right there. Because you like looking around the store and seeing it and kind of trying it on. You see it, and do you see it and connect with it, or you try it on first and then you're like, yes.
Yeah, and I liked it instantly because of the color. Yeah, I was like, I bet that looks cool. I
mean, if you don't mind, I think you look sexy in them.
Thank you.
Yeah, it looks good.
I try.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's nice to. I think that's another reason why I enjoy it is because part of the self-consciousness that I have felt has been sort of like feeling like, and I think a lot of women go through this, a certain discomfort with other people looking at you, and for me, like, I don't know, there's just something, I feel kind of like more uncomfortable in a pair of jeans and a t-shirt because I don't wear boring clothes. I mean, you see what I'm wearing here. Like, I wear
overalls.
I wear jumpsuits and overalls and dresses usually.
And
like,
that's
all the
fancy
time.
Long underwear. Isn't it?
No,
it's
just
nice?
it's just a sweater.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I like to, I'm not interested in just like wearing a dress. I'm not interested in wearing pants and a shirt. You know, like it's just not interesting or fun to me.
Yeah.
So anyway, if I were to wear something like that, I know that people would be like kind of looking at my body.
Yeah.
You know, anyway. And this is sort of like, here it is. And having fun with that reality instead of I don't know, it's just
that makes
I guess that's like, you know, you had asked about brand. I guess it's definitely a part of my brand to be creative and different. I try to anyway.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to wear you out. We should get going. What's next? No, you gonna hang out with your?
I am
you have a show?
gonna Skype with my parents, and then I have rehearsal for Maud Night. So, I mean, in addition to doing the Livia Scott Sketch Program, I'm also on one of the Maud teams at UCB, Legs for Days. So that's one of the reasons why I'm very busy, because I have these 2 monthly shows, not just one. And you know, on top of like having a day job and, you know, trying to book gigs and stuff like that on top of everything else. I try to take my show to the next level and network and, you know, try to go to the gym and try to do my fucking laundry and, you know, try to, you know, be a human being and hang out with friends and things like that. So it's just like really busy.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Yeah. But it's good. I'm really happy. You know, it's that life stuff, you know. That's so important, and having good
Skyping is a little bit
relationships.
better because you can see the body language, and
yeah, it's more fun.
here comes a little dog.
Speaking of fun, OMG! Oh. I would really, 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 really like to have a dog just like that. And I would like to
That's
name
like
it.
a little...
I have a couple of dog names that I like to that make me laugh. One of them is Ranch. To have a dog named Ranch, I think it's so funny. And then or Computer.
Oh, I like, yes. Computer.
This is my dog, Computer.
I celebrate Computer. That's awesome. Well, thanks for talking to me. This has been fun. I hope it was something.
It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like talking to you a lot.
You too. Yeah, you're good. You hit the ball back.
Yeah. That wasn't very solid.
High five.
There we go.
Come on. My brother used to do this thing where we would high five, and he had to keep doing it harder and harder.
Uh-huh. We're not going to do that.
We won't, okay. That was it. That was my conversation with Livia Scott. Go check her out. The UCB Chelsea. I don't know if I said that at the beginning of the show. UCB Chelsea, November 11th at 9:30. And go watch her show. She's got a new hour of sketch every month, which I think is pretty awesome. That's not easy to do. Anyway, I feel a little nervous about putting that up. That's usually a good sign, right? I try not to throw my friends and family under the bus, but I'm, because I love them. But sometimes I got to talk about them out loud to other people and then put it up on a podcast for hundreds of strangers to hear. But anyway, if you're wondering about my stand-up, I don't usually put it up on the web. I'm trying to put up an album here soon. But this is a clip of me going last at an open mic. This is a pretty unsexy thing. I want you to hear this, though. You guys ever thought about whether you could just take a bath up here in front of everybody? Like when the room gets real, like this, like it is right now. You're like, could I? Like if there was a tub, like a clawfoot cup, just filled with tepid water, could I come up naked and just not comment on the fact that I was bathing, just come up and just start washing myself? I think acting is harder than stand-up. You know what I mean? You gotta find that inner life for your characters. You guys are all invited to my bathtub. Is what I'm trying to say. Come on, so to speak.